under more pressure, McVay or Goff? I'm looking at you.
Me?
Yeah.
It's Sean McVay. It really, really is. In all seriousness, I will tell you, let's understand something here. When you think about Sean McVay, they lost. They went had a successful season in his first tenure. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, he's not going anywhere. He's the boy wonder. We get all of that. He's done an outstanding job, and I'm a huge fan of Sean McVay. But he has become the standard upon which everybody, looks towards to bring in a new coach. Adam Gase, one could make the argument Adam Gase has the job in New York because of Sean McVay. You could make the argument of Freddie Kitchens. I'm not talking about a direct correlation to him like they know him or something. I'm just talking about what every owner is looking for. They seem to be looking for that young dude that has or could cultivate relationships with a quarterback, because that's the biggest thing that he did. To me, I think he's done much more than that offensively in terms of play calling, the personnel they've accumulated, what he's done not just for Jared Goff, but also for Todd Gurley. But really, it's about the metamorphosis that took place with Jared Goff from the Jeff Fisher era to the Sean McVay era. So when you look at an Adam Gase, you're hoping for that with him and Sam Darnold. When you're looking at Freddie Kitchens, it has a lot to do with the fact that Baker Mayfield was raving about him upon the immediate departure of Hugh Jackson. When you look at who am I remember? Oh, of course, Bruce Arians in Tampa. You're talking about Jameis Winston. Don't get me started with Kingsbury in Arizona, for crying out loud. But the bottom line is everyone seems to be aiming to find the next Sean McVay. So to go into a second consecutive year, all right, in the playoffs, divisional playoff game, home field advantage with the Dallas Cowboys coming in, and back-to-back years, you have a decent regular season, if not a damn good regular season, but you lose without winning a playoff game, that is a problem. I'm looking at Sean McVay for this game to see what he's going to pull out of his hat.
Well, he's under pressure, and I think he is the key to the game.
Yes.
But, in fact, we know how this works. The quarterback is really the face of the team more than anyone else, including the head coach, if he is the #1 overall pick in that draft, which Jared Goff was. There's more pressure on Jared Goff. As I said with Phillip Rivers when he went to Baltimore to face the Ravens, everyone acknowledged this is a really tough matchup. It's a tough draw for Phillip Rivers. And, his running backs are banged up, and the Ravens play great defense, and he's on the road, and a lot of people took the Ravens. And I mentioned at the time, history will not record the difficult matchup. No one wants to hear those excuses. Once again, Phillip Rivers doesn't advance in the playoffs. It would have been on him. It would have been pinned to him. And I'm telling you right now with Jared Goff, the former #1 overall pick, who went from he's a bust to no, wait, he's good to no, at times this year he looked great, like elite. Last season, I thought they had a good chance to make a move. A lot of people did. If only Goff had playoff experience. So we said, okay, you can lose. The Saints, we understand, Breeze has playoff experience. A lot of people liked him for that reason. Now he's had the playoff experience. His left tackle is back. I know they have certain problems on the line, but he's got Whitworth back. His running back, who's been dinged up, he's going to play in the game. He's missing one single receiver. I know the Cowboys are hot in certain ways. It's a styles matchup problem for the Rams. They're at home. He has everyone but Cooper Kupp. They're 7-point favorites. Jared Goff has to win this game. The pressure is squarely on him.
You're absolutely right that if after all the hype, after all the boy genius, after the search of every owner across the NFL to find their Sean McVay for their Jared Goff, if that is met with 2 straight one-and-dones in the playoffs, if that's met with 0-2, it is, whoa, what have we been chasing? However, Stephen A., I think you're wrong. Because that doesn't put pressure on Sean McVay. That puts pressure on Woody Johnson. That puts pressure on Steve Keim. That puts pressure on Jimmy Haslam and John Dorsey, all the guys that chased the Sean McVay model. Sean's safe, and Sean's a great coach. What he's done in L.A. is proven. No matter what happens in this playoffs, the turnaround, not just of that team, but of Jared Goff in particular, has proven Sean McVay is a top-tier coach in this league. But Max is right. The pressure is more heavily on Jared Goff, and here's why. We're still asking the question, who is Jared Goff? We know, I think, who Sean McVay is. Jared Goff, through the first 11 weeks of this season, was the 3rd, I think, or 4th best quarterback in the league, according to quarterback metrics. By the way, over the same time frame, Dak Prescott was about 25th. Over the last 6 games of the season, Dak has climbed to 4th, and Jared Goff fell to 23rd. Now, they switched places, Max. He's been absolutely atrocious over the last month of the season, Jared Goff.
Okay.
Now, he's coming into some money, too. He's got a contract decision coming up, and of course you'd say they're going to give Jared Goff his money, and yeah, you're probably right, but there is a little bit of a tag with Jared Goff right now, a little bit of a question, and it is this. Is he just a product of Sean McVay? Is he a system guy? Should they tie up $100 million in a guy when the genius is actually on the sidelines, not on the field? I believe the pressure is on Jared Goff to show everybody the answer to those questions.
I want to chime in because I want to come right back at both you and Max because I respectfully disagree with both y'all. Even though the points are valid, I disagree for this reason. Who got the credit for Jared Goff's success? It wasn't Jared Goff. It was Sean McVay. Sean McVay turned him around. They didn't say Jared Goff. They didn't just say Jared Goff can ball. They said, oh, the guy that we saw with Jeff Fisher, this is a totally different guy. Sean McVay did that for him. Number one. Number two, both of y'all missed this. Got to play defense, too. You got Wade Phillips as your defensive coordinator. This is 20th ranked defense in the National Football League. It's unacceptable. The fact of the matter is this is a Super Bowl contender. You got a high-powered offense. You got Aaron Donald, who deserves his money, and you finally paid him. You paid Aqib Talib in the offseason. You brought Marcus Peters from Kansas City. You acquired Ndamukong Suh, and you got the 20th ranked defense. We just finished lamenting the defensive problems.
Secondary has been a problem.
I'm saying, but Sean McVay's the head coach.
They can put pressure on the quarterback. You just undermined your point, though.
No, I didn't.
It's not just that McVay made Goff successful. It's where was he starting from? Jeff Fisher, who's universally recognized now as a head coaching disaster, particularly for quarterbacks.
But where did he arrive? Where did he arrive to?
What do you mean?
In other words, when you talked about Jared Goff at one point, and you talked about how good he was, we pointed to the genius of McVay as the reason why.